Stardom Queendom 2024.
Yeah, Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom 2024. All right, man. So before we before we get into our thoughts of the show.
I feel like we gotta catch ourselves up here because look, I'm gonna keep it stacked. Sareee Tani got injured and I checked out of the promotion last year. The rise of Maika, all that, missed it, didn't care. All the drama that went on with the office, all the rash of injuries. What it just wasn't grabbing me. So I'm dropping essentially into the show cold turkey. It was almost like I was seeing some old friends I haven't seen in a while when I was watching these people make their entrances.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I've been watching this stuff just at afar, and I'm not having too interested because it's who's leaving, who's going, what's going on with Mari Gold, and then the show happened, and then the show is like, oh, we're a month away, we're 2 months away, we're a month away, we're 3 weeks away, we're 4 weeks away, and I'm like, what is this fucking card? I'm gonna book it like the namesake from last year, not even close. And I was very frustrated with it. Had people like Niagara Driver trying to talk me down from it, but I'm just like, nah, man, sorry. Like there was a standard this promotion had held up from the time Bushiroad bought it up until 2023 when the dam broke and everybody got injured, or half the roster or half the top stars got injured. And like, I'm sorry, but like when you come out here and you have, 6 of the wrestlers that were booked as top stars in this promotion for that run, and 2 of them leave, so it leaves you with 4 of them, and only 1 of them is doing anything interesting at all on the card after you've booked them to be the top stars promotion for like 3-4 years. It's gonna be like, what the fuck is going on with this promotion? Did someone shake a snow globe and the things that fell where they landed with and obviously they told stories to get to certain places, but it's like this. You go a year from ago and say this is going to be the car a year ago after last year's show, and you say this is what the car is going to be a year later. You'd be like, nah, what happened?
Were there
obviously some things did happen, but it's like this is beyond what happened.
You'd be like, were there tragic accidents we weren't aware of or something, or were there brain injuries, or like what is going on here?
Right. So like. So you look it up and down the card, and then like as the big matches are named down, and you're just like, all right, well, Mayu and Sareee, like, yeah, I've wanted that match for, since it got pulled off the table in 2020. Cool. But then I see, like, oh, Momo and Maika is the main event. 3 stages of hell, basically. All right, that'll be good. It'll be good, but I'm not like dying to see that. Like, I don't know why they didn't, say the Kamatani match that Maika had a few months ago for this. All right, whatever. And they had obviously, they did do, they did right by Momo by like building her back up, but it's like I've seen what they've done with Momo over the last.
At the end of the day, I'm sorry, Velkej, it's Momo. She walked out there with that face on. We knew what it was.
She didn't even have to have the face on. You knew what it was. Like we have seen how you've been booked over the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like it would. If she had one, it'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
So check this out. So like when I was watching this shit, I was unaware that it was a 3 stages of hell match. I saw Momo get that first win. I almost jumped off my couch like, what the fuck has happened here? I can't believe this. What is Taro Okada doing? Like not that it's a bad thing if she would have won, but it would have been like, oh, these niggas is in the Wild West out here.
Right. It's like I don't even remember how many points she won in the Grand Prix last year for her, and all of a sudden she's winning the title. That would be a fucking shock.
Like you lay on Momo. I mean, this is what they done with Momo, man. As my man Zach Porter would say, the coat holder.
Right. Has been winning the last few months, and that's what my point. Like they have booked her for this moment, but the thing is, it's the same thing when they put Kamatani after like winning only 17 matches in 2020 to all of a sudden like she didn't lose a single match going into Budokan Hall, and it's like we know what this is. Like, you realize this person has been not booked at the level to be someone that to be in this card. So you have to literally book at snapneck pace for like 2 months, 3 months to get to the match. But we know the good damn well this person ain't winning.
I think
right?
it's
the same thing.
I think some of my impressions of this was like just some of the card positioning here is like, all right, Hannon, I get it. They wanna see what they got in her and all that. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it reminds
whatever.
me similar to the like you mentioned Kamatani.
Yeah,
similar thing where it's like put you out there, sink or swim. Let's see what we have here. I thought she acquitted herself well enough. She's not Kamatani, but still.
Like I went back and forth on it. Like it was like we'll get to when we do that match review. But you know, like I like Maika and all that, but I'm like, look, man, like when I see Shuri in the opener, and I'm like, you know, Sue Suzuki buried in tags. You know, Kid and Izumi just, you know, in the middle. I'm like, yo, like, let's get this shit rolling, bro. Like, but, you know,
that's exactly what I was. That's exactly like in the little chat that we have on Twitter, where I was like saying this stuff, and they're like, well, you know, it's the stories are well told. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, what happened to the stories that were being told, you know, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, or whatever else? Did we just drop everything and just say, hey, we don't know who's coming, who's going, so we just gonna go with who we got, who we know gonna stay, and we're gonna leave it at that, and then we'll figure it out on the back end? Because it's like, all right, well, are we going to get a show like before Grand Prix that's going to be a big deal, or are we just going to say, hey, we're just going to have a bunch of B pay-per-views, and then we get to the Grand Prix, and then we'll get to Sumo Hall, hopefully.
Yeah, and I don't know, man.
It just feels weird. It just feels weird after going from that card last year to being like, I'm looking at the paper, I'm just like, I know this card, like, I know that, like, because of the talent, that show is going to be great regardless, or at the very least very good, but it's like,
yeah, I don't want people to think
this is All-Star Grand Queendom. This be like if you have AEW All In or WrestleMania or whatever else, or Wrestle Kingdom, and it'd be like, yeah, bro, this feels like a couple years ago's version of a B pay-per-view. On paper, you're like, it's still going great, but it's like this ain't what we've been sold on over the years of watching this over, you know, hardcore. Like it just feels it. Tam's out there getting her ass whooped by Aja Kong. Okay, cool.
Hey, that works for me, you know.
But you get my point. It's like, what are the top stars, the money makers in this promotion, and the best wrestlers do it doing? And it's like, oh, okay, like Saya Kamatani's like in the third match, like winning the high speed belt.
I'm like, what is that?
In a 4-way match. What the fuck? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I saw Saya Kamatani win, and I was like, I don't know if I'm actually happy about this, because now it's like she got to hold that shit and she's away from the top now. And I'm like, is this just a diversion for like to keep her away until later in the year? If that's the case, okay, fine.
I'm cool with that. Because you can have some cool matches and be like, you know, third from the top, fourth from the top on pay-per-views, having quality matches with the high speeders in the division if they really want to do it. And also it's like, it's better this way if they're actually going to have people, because it's like when they have Sierra, Sierra's great, but like they don't let Sierra beat anybody marquee. Like she had that 15-minute high speed draw with Hazuki that was awesome, but they're like, you can't beat Hazuki. Mm-hmm. That's basically what they say. Like, no, we're not allowing you to beat Hazuki. And they're like, well, Hazuki ain't never touching a colored belt, so like, why can't she beat her? You know, like it's a high speed match. She can't roll her up.
Nah.
You know, so it's been a lot of weird things when it's like, you know, the week to week stuff is fine, right? The week to week stuff is fine, but when you look at the big picture, where it's like, oh, do y'all even care about? Do y'all just punt? I feel like they just punt on the pay per view, like months out. No one, they were gonna boot Rossi out of here. Like it was like once they did that picture at the end of the anniversary show at Supreme Fight 2024, they were like, we got Ross Everett's picture, and like we're not actually really gonna try it this show. We named it Grand All-Star Grand Queen, but we just gonna be like, hey man, maybe we got some more sleep. And like it felt a lot like going into it was like when they went to the Sumo Hall show at the end of 2022, where it's like this card don't look right compared to what's on the roster and at the time of the year that it is. And it's like it turns out, oh, they have Yokohama Arena up their sleeve. There was no Yokohama Arena up their sleeve for this. This is just the standard. We're going to Fukuoka at the end of Golden Week like we've done the last 2 years before, and like we're going to go to set up like getting into the season and tell you all a schedule for Grand Prix, which they did like at the announcements after the first match on the main card. And it was like, all right, well, they basically just punted on what was they set up after. It's like, 2 years ago, they had back-to-back sumo halls, 3,000, right? Based around Shuri being the two people that she'd never beaten the promotion before.
Mm-hmm.
Last year it was, we're going to have Tam versus Mayu in the main. Tam versus Julie in the main event for the red belt. This year it was like, I don't know, 3 stages of hell with a bridemaid that finally got married and a person that's like now 0-6.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So we should probably start there. Maika versus Momo Watanabe, red belt, World of Stardom Championship, 2 out of 3 falls. This match went 35 minutes, 3 falls, and it felt every bit of it. I gotta say, that first fall I thought was really great. If this was just a single fall match, I was with it. And then, after that, it was like, all right, we filling out this time, kind of. And, I don't want to bang on Maika too hard, but, it's Maika. It's like, I don't see you as a world champion. I'm sorry. Like, maybe it's just I haven't watched in
in her defenses, I think she's acquitted herself well.
Right.
But
it's like,
this
I'm
was
not
a
gonna
situation where it's like, this
but
match did not need to go 35 minutes other than to say, like, we got to do something to give a hook for this match because we know that, like, this is not that caliber of pay-per-view main event for an pay-per-view that we've treated as such the last 2 years before.
Yeah, I thought the first fall was like spectacular, really. I thought Momo like looked great, and there was a lot to, like, if it was just that 14 minutes in that first fall, I'm with it. Even though Momo won, they would have switched the finish there, but and then they go into the hardcore stuff in the second fall, and then this last woman standing in the third, and I was just watching this main event. I'm like, it's good, but it's like it's not. One is too long, and it's not just that. Like I just had watched Mayu and Sareee before this, so it was like, it's like him. When Julia lost that red belt last year, I feel like this promotion changed forever. Like, it just has not been the same since then.
I think the promotion has changed ever since Julia won the red belt.
Oh wow!
And I don't mean that as like Julia shouldn't have won it. Like, no, they won. Like, she won it and they immediately went and did the Ice Lord stuff, which we like. But like, it's people that people that she lost in Grand Prix matches to that year, like Hazuki, that she should have been wrestling on pay-per-view or whatever else, get her wins back. And like, they went with the Suzu match, which like they should have done the Suzu match, but like did an anniversary show, wasn't nearly as good as the Grand Prix match they had. And then they went with the Yuki match, which is like with the Maya Yuki match, and then they had the fuck ass double count out. And it's like, all right, I enjoyed the match. I'll beat the piss out of each other, but it's like, oh, it's a double count out, and like we find out later, neither one of you want to put each other over. Great, so glad you decided to book this match. Yeah. So, it's been weird. It's been weird ever since. And then they put it on Tam, and they immediately say, hey, Tam, go out there and like, not wrestle anybody worth a damn. There's a main event caliber wrestler. Like, as far as skill, when we put the belt on you, great, awesome. That's real fun. It's been a real fun year with the red belt. Like, why did we take it off Shuri again? Oh, okay.
Yeah, look, just because it was time, So I don't know.
Like, this is no knock on Tam or Julia, because obviously they've had enough matches to prove they could, at the top level, they could do that. But it's like, if you're not going to put opponents in front of them like you did with Utami, what you did with Mayu and Utami and Shuri, then what are we doing? so yeah, like this match, like, and I felt like with Maika kind of get back on point, like, the match with who did she have the match with? She had the match with Kamatani. She had the match with Utami. And those matches were like, they're not, 4.5 star, but they're like quality 4.25 things. And it's like, that's good enough for a main event of these B-level type of pay-per-views for Stardom. And that's fine. And then also she had the match with Megan Bayne and Philly. And like, she's acquitted herself quite well, but it's like, it kind of feels the same way when it was with Mirai's white belt run, where it's like, this person has quality defenses, but like we just know that she is not a top star in this promotion. We know that we have AstroTurf this.
Yeah.
And that's an issue we got to get over. Because it's like, at least they're trying new people, but it's like
she's going to have to. It's like
Can you try to need people that like we know are like the breadwinners of this company?
It's like she's gonna have to hold this shit till like the end of the year for it to really sink into me. Like, yeah, like I'm like, yo, this is Maika and Himeka. Like, these are like the tag wrestlers. Like,
I need them, and I was saying this, as well. Like, I need Maika. Like, Utami was out the door, she did the job, fine, cool. She beat Kamatani. That's kind of like we think Kamatani's gonna win the Grand Prix, win it in a year anyway. So that sets it up the whole journey. That's fine. That's perfect. Like, I need Maika to come out here and drop Tam. I need Maika to come out here and drop Mayu. I need Maika to come out here and drop Shuri.
That's what I would think.
That in a big spot. That makes me believe it. You know what I'm saying? Or can at least deceive me into believing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my main thing is like, if you're really gonna go with Maika, put her over the way that you put over like Kamatani when Kamatani was beating Tommy and Tam in Sumo Hall.
Look, yeah, I'm looking at Saya Kamatani with that damn high speed belt, and I'm like, hey man, like we need to be gearing up. You know, like what's this? So, Wonder of Stardom match, Sareee Anu versus Hanan, and man, Hanan, I think overall did a really good job here. Obviously she didn't win, she didn't beat Anu. She had won a Cinderella coming into this, and she is someone that obviously had that long Futures title reign a while ago,
right?
And this is like her getting a chance to step up, a la Kamatani in 2021, something like that.
Yeah.
I felt like like I went back and forth on her in this match. I was just like, oh, this ain't really hitting on nothing. And then I was like, oh, this is getting really good. And then I'm like,
the closing stretches was so
then it's not. Then it's not good. And then it turns around to closing stretch. Well, I'm like, all right, but like I don't know what Hanan's thing is. Like when I watch her wrestle, it's like.
Mm-hmm.
Is she a power wrestler? I don't know. Like is she a flyer or like a great athlete or like a submission person? It's like, what does she really do besides just be kind of serviceable? It's like, yeah, she's fundamentally sound and great look, young and like tall, like, and it's like, all right, but it's just not coming all the way around for me. So, but like, I don't want to take anything away from the match. I thought the match worked out well, but like, I didn't see her like step up in my eyes. Like, as far as like, oh, this is somebody that's arrived right now. It's like when I look at, I'm like, all right, why are we pushing you in front of like Azumi or Starlight Kid or Sue Suzuki
or Natsupoi? Yeah.
So I'm like, are we sure about this? So like that's my thing. Like, and I kind of have to evaluate her like that, even though she's way younger in her career. But they're putting her out in the situation, so now I got to kind of look at her like that. I'm like, all right, I feel like she should be in tags. Like, I feel like she should be
same.
I
think she should be. I think she should be trios champion. Like, I remember after she lost the Futures belt. And to be fair, like, to for the set as record straight, like, she's my favorite Future belt champion in Stardom since we've been watching, right? That includes Starlight Kid, Utami, Ida, Waka. I'm sorry, not Waka. Mina, Roaka, all of them. Rina too, and Unagi, all of them. So for me, there was a spot at some point, the end of 2022, where like she was in a trios match. In a trios title match, and it was her and FWC versus the Bari Bari ribbons, whatever the hell it was, in Donald Mondo of like Julia and Mai and Tekla. And I was like, well, this is a spot here for her to get XP here. And then they didn't pull the trigger on that because obviously they kept the belt on Julie because they always keep building Julie, and that's fine.
Top two.
Yeah, she's top star. Top two. Like, what did we start the show saying? What the hell are the top stars doing? Right? So, but they never really followed up on that. And then, like, this year when they announced what the layout of the Cinderella tournament was in being, it was like, oh, the only like people that are even like upper mid carders in this thing is like Hazuki and Azumi and Kid. It's like, oh, okay. It basically everybody out that like you'd be like, all right, this person's already made. We don't need to do that. And they basically made it a juniors tournament in a way, in juniors in age and experience, not in far as weight. So, so I predicted like I think they should have Hannah win, and I was like, okay, Hannah's gonna win, cool. And then they got to the final four, and it was like her in one bracket on one side, and the other side is Azumi versus Ami, and then they had Azumi beat or lose to Ami. And I was like, well, what the fuck? Like, if you're going to actually like try to get Hannah some XP, you put her in the ring with Azumi, you have her beat Azumi in a really good match. Make people like, oh, okay. They didn't do that. They had her beat the Giant. Okay, fine. Then they do this match, and I'm like, I'm watching the match. It's fine starting out, and then all of a sudden it's like they keep having her. Or the match is laid out to where she keeps throwing her European uppercuts. I think her European uppercuts stink. Mm-hmm. There's no way around it. It looks soft. And like it was even worse because, I'm watching it late, lack of sleep. And then, I'm thinking they stink. And then like the match turns around, I'm like, all right, well, whatever. She was able to get through the match and the closing stretch is absolutely great. Really great. And then like, later in the day, I watched Cesaro versus Swerve. And I watched Cesaro. I'm sorry, Claudio versus Swerve. I'm watching Claudio fucking murder Swerve. Like, bro, now when I watch this match, I'm thinking of Hannah. I'm like, she needs to take this out of her game.
Oh.
And obviously she's got more opportunities in this, and like obviously she's either 18 or 19 right now. So it's like we're talking the grand scheme of thing of in a competition or in the vacuum of Stardom. Yeah, this wasn't something that you're impressed by, but it's like, but the type of vacuum are saying like pro wrestler that's 18 or 19 years old, she's really fucking good. Mm-hmm. But it's like, now that we understand where she is in the pecking order as far as her skill level after getting her first big match,
let's slot her appropriately.
We need to slot her appropriately and also put her in a position to get title match experience beyond just the futures belt where it's only, at most 8 minutes, 10 minutes. We need to get her into some trios, tag team stuff that actually help grow this. If your plan is to actually grow this, if this is some one-off thing, I'm not gonna be happy because like she is. Well, I don't think she's like the Azumi, Utami, Starlight Kid, at a lack of experience, lack of age level that she's at right now for her age compared to those three. I think that like she will be if she continues growing in the way that she has since we started watching her, I think she can become, a title performer, a title match performer. So like, I like this first start. I don't love it. I don't love that, that this was the place for it. I understand why it happened. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like it was a bad match. Like, I think this probably get it 4 stars flat, which is like being really hard on somebody. Like, why 19-year-old had a 4-star match, but it's like, yeah, that's the standard of Stardom. It's really fucking high.
Yeah, especially with like the other people that are around. Like I think that makes a lot of it.
That's the thing. The thing is in the thing of like, it'd be like saying, hey, Nick Wayne went out there and had a 4.25 star match. You'd be like, and like for the international title against Okada, it'd be like, great. It'd be like, yeah, bro, but like he could have been wrestling Phoenix. What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
So long term, like let her keep doing her thing. Like, and I think the 5-star is gonna be very important for her this year. Like, let her get to like a block. Let her finish like top 2 in a block or something like that. Like,
this should be the test because like this is really her 3rd Grand Prix. I don't think she's had a consistently good one yet. Like, she needs to go out here and have a consistently good tournament, and then we go from there. Like this, all progress is not linear. Yeah. We need to see an uptick here. Like, we just saw a good sign here. Not a great sign, a good sign. I'm hoping to see something great from her.
So we didn't mention Ano like at all. Like, it's like, yeah, like Ano's like a Money in the Bank kind of wrestler, I think. Like, it's like, all right, she's Ano. Like, there's nothing, really to say. Like, she's just awesome.
I think I'm starting to see a pattern with her. And I think she relies too heavily on an incredible closing stretch. Like, this has been a thing with her now where like I've seen enough to know like if her match isn't hidden or whatever else, you can just wait, except for that Natsupoi strap match. Like, if it's a regular rules match, like if it's at a certain level and you're kind of like, what the hell's going on? Like, the closing stretch is going to come and it's going to be great, but it's like you need to kind of even this thing out. Like she's really good at closing stretch, but like maybe act 2, she's kind of there's something left to be desired at sometimes. So yeah, like, but you know, I like her with the title. I like her with the title. She's had good she's had defenses, but it's one of those things where like she jumped the line, and I'm fine with that if she's going to be someone that's going to put someone that was in that line, in that queue for the white belt over eventually. They've been selling this NASA point match for pretty much ever since the anniversary show. So like eventually they'll get to it. But I don't know if it's necessarily her, or if it's going to be Starlight Kid or whatever else, or whatever happens with the rest of this new look of Cosmic Age. But we'll see.
Yeah, man. IWGP Women's Title match, the long-awaited Mayu Iwatani versus Sareee match. The Sun God. It was time to sunset. It was nighttime. It was rain. Whatever you want to do that gets rid of the sun. It happened here, but this match was spectacular. No Pretty Ricky here. I think like I watched like these entrances, and this felt like the main event. This felt big time. This felt like hey man, like what is Sareee doing? Like what? Like I know she's a freelancer and all that. It's like, hey man, when you gonna come put the jumpsuit on? Quit playing.
Which jumpsuit? Because given what's happening politically. She might put the yellow on, the yellow joint on, the black and yellow on. So we'll see.
That's true.
Yeah, she'll be back in black and yellow. She'll feel accustomed to it. She's been in black and yellow before.
Sick.
So.
Absolutely sick.
Wait till we find out. That's the reason why you went with Marty Gold.
Bring that. I can get back. I can get back in my schoolgirl outfit. Oh my god,
man, stop that shit. That shit was sad. Like, it was like, I'm whatever. I'm not getting back into the fucking Sailor Moon ass Sareee schoolgirl shit or whatever the fuck that was. She's a magical girl. But anyway, yeah, man. That's just fucking awesome. Like, I will say, it might be. I might have to rewatch it, and I might have to rewatch it like in a back-to-back situation with the Shuri match from 1-4, because I think I'd like the Shuri match more, but. Like either way, we talking about some 4 3/4 star level shit.
I think I'm 4 3/4 on this. Like this is this shit right here, nigga. Yeah. So like this match for me, I've been waiting on this thing since like 2020. March. Is it March 8th, 2020? Whatever, doesn't matter. But 1,540 days since Shuri ducked out to go to the E. Instead of putting over Mayu. And, I was waiting for this. And, like, you see my backdrop, my favorite wrestler got this win. And I saw, it was funny because I was in the Voice of Wrestling Discord for the show. And, like, people were like, well, what? Maybe Sareee wins this. And I was like, sir, this show is sponsored. This is a Bushiroad show. Sponsored by a Bushiroad sponsored by the Bushiroad movie for the Bushiroad wrestler's biopic, and with the Bushiroad wrestler in the biopic in the match. I mean, who the hell paid that money for her to lose here? She's gonna come in here and she's gonna be spectacular, and she's gonna throw just like first time I ever saw a Sareee. Gonna be a bunch of big kicks, big headbutts, real headbutts, shoot headbutts. And a lot of big suplexes. But at the end, the Sun God will do a job to the last icon of professional wrestling, just like I've wanted for years, just like it was supposed to happen all them years ago. Can't run when you finally home. Zach Porter, I know watched this in horror. Man, I gotta say though, man, I was really impressed with Sareee. This thing.
Is this your first time ever really seeing her though?
Yes, like in her element. Like there you go. Like I watched her before, but like this.
But like I mean, like in Japan.
Yeah, like in
like
her
wrestling
element.
at the top, wrestling another top level person in a big spot.
Looks way different than America. No, I did not see the Arisa match. Please,
that match is probably better.
Yeah, please drop the link in the One Nation Radio Discord if you can for me. I'd love to see it. But yeah, I saw this thing, and this just like what stood out to me was like just how spectacular Mayu Watani is. Also, like
Thank you.
I sent
Go
James.
ahead.
I sent
Please say
James.
something nice about Mayu Watani. It's never happened. It's been years we've been covering the show. You've never really ever said nothing about Mayu Watani in that way. So go ahead. Have at it.
I always thought I was very complimentary of Mayu.
Very complimentary, but you've never been like, yeah, James, your favorite wrestler is fucking awesome. You've never really done it that way. So go, the floor is yours. Let's hear it. How about it?
So like, one thing you can look at her in this is just how she gets like killed in this match, right? But then like she rises up with spectacular offense. She's a great bumper. She's a great striker. She's more of a finesse wrestler, I would say, but she will absolutely fight one of y'all. Like she'll like Riley Cooper. She will fight every nigga here. Like,
oh my god.
But it is like, yeah, man, like you easily see her. Then it's like, yo, they haven't really pushed her seriously at the top in years in this company, and who knows if they ever will again. But damn, they probably should consider it. Like when I was seeing this, I was like, she's got that IWGP belt, and for me, that feels like the goofy belt that they give Mayu now because they can't give her the world title anymore. Like, I think that's short-sighted. You know, you got somebody called the Icon. You got what is quote unquote left of maybe the time you have her, or you have her at still a very, very high level. You gotta push her, man. Like, I like, is she banned from winning the belt again? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know, man. Like, you know, they put that belt on her, and she's been out of the both belts, out of the red and white belt scene, and I think that has hurt some of the other wrestlers. Like that damn sure hurt Tam.
Mm-hmm.
That damn sure hurt Julia. After that draw they had at the anniversary show in 2022, right? Like they never settled that.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously they still never settled the Tam and Mayu thing. They keep going to draws. They went to a draw in the Grand Prix last year. I don't think you even watched that match. So they like their last 3 matches have all gone to draws, right? So it's 4 matches have gone to draws, right? So it's like, all right, this could have helped Julia and Mayu in the title, but they put that goofy belt on her, right? So that's another part of this. So yeah, like, you know, Mayu's Mayu, and she's been this ever since I've been watching her, right? And that's why she became my favorite wrestler. And you know, like the company is doing this stuff, and like, you know, it's made more stars doing it this way, like downcycling people. But it's like, while they downcycled her, the only story to really, you know, really invest yourself in with her was like, you know, Starlight Kid leaving. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, and you look at, you know, what's happened with Donald Nomano going away, Cosmic Angel splitting off into, you know, the Club Venus now becoming NXSV. Oedo Tai just had a roster, just had turnover. You know, guys, I just had Konami come back after losing Mirai. And you're like, well, Stars kind of been stars ever since like Kogo showed up. Yeah, that's been, I mean, obviously they did add Yuzuki, but Yuzuki bolted to go to Marigold. Like
I'm gonna start banging the drum. How about we push Mayu Watani? Like, you know, I unless they feel like they can't for whatever dumb reason.
We can't possibly push like our biggest star of the last half decade.
Yeah,
we can't do that. We can't push our most versatile wrestler in the promotion. No, we can't do that. Not possible. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. We can't push a motherfucker we made a movie after. Yeah, like it's, you know, I don't want necessarily her to be on top at the expense of trying to, you know, elevate the people that haven't reached a certain place that are talented enough to reach it. But you see matches like this, and a match she had with Shuri on 1-4, and you're just like, who the fuck's better? And we've been saying this, I've been saying this for years. Who the fuck's better than Mayu and Shuri in this promotion? Because if you have an answer, it probably brought out the door to be the face, the new face of Marigold and Utami. So, you know,
yeah.
But you know, whatever. Like, she's great. They give her shots or whatever else. And in her big spots, she's fucking awesome. This goes back to, and it's been around this belt. Like, goes back to when she lost the inaugural match to Kairi. Like, she's been fucking awesome with this belt. When they've given her a big, a Joshi wrestler of her caliber, or Mercedes. Well, never mind that. Like, we'll
what was that, sir? What?
Look, man, we talked about
edit that out. Edit that out.
Mercedes is the best American women's wrestler that's ever been produced. But there's levels to this, and like when the Arisa Nakajimas and the Kumiya Rojas and the Shuris and the Mayus, you know, like start to meet up, it's just a different level, just straight up. So yeah, like super happy that she, you know, got her crown moment, and like, you know, after she gets the win, which was incredible because, you know, they're kicking out of the big suplex, they're kicking out of the dragon suplexes, kicking out of the moonsaults, and she finally hits her 2-stage dragon suplex, gets the win, and then out comes Tsukasa Fujimoto, Ace Vice Ribbon, you know, came back not too far ago, right? She had a baby last year, a year and a half ago, and she's been back for a little bit, and she says like, hey, you know, back in 2016. Me, or 2016 or 14, whichever one, me and my partner in the best friends, Arisa Nakajima, we were supposed to have a match against Thunder Rock, you and Io. It never happened for different reasons. There's been a pandemic and all this kind of stuff and everything. But like, how about this? We want a match, and you pick a tag team partner. So that match is gonna happen at some point, and I'm hoping that it happens soon. And I get Arisa pinning Mayu. And I get my Arisa versus Mayu match. That's what I want. Like, Arisa's on the way out. You know, she I think she returned the anniversary show, so that's like either July or April or August in for Seedling. I want these matches before she gets out, because like that's a match when I started 2019, I first started watching Joshi in general, Stardom in Seedling. I was like, yo.
Gotta say, I think it's time for the Icon to come through at Forbidden Door too. Like, big title match for her with the IWGP belt.
Yeah, look, if that's the place where she drops it, go ahead and drop back to Mercedes. I have no problem with that. And then let Mayu win the Grand Prix. Yeah. So yeah, man. So I'm you know, over the moon about the match, and like, quite frankly, given the way we sounded talking about this show and the main event and some main event, it sounds like we've been griping about 2 4-star matches. Then we get like a actual legitimate one of the best matches of the year, and it's like, what the hell are we complaining about? But it's like it was so weird with the card plays with the top stars, but like the final 3 matches were all at the worst great, and this match is the best one, and like I think putting this match third from the top as opposed to the top. I think that the red and white belt matches suffered. So, match below that, we get the Goddess of Stardom 4-way match. We get Crazy Star, Maciera and Suzuki versus Oedo Tai, Rock and Starlight Kid, Queen's Quest, O2 Line, Azumi and Miyu Amasaki in FWC from Stars, Hazuki and Kaguma. And Rich, you see this match?
Yes.
Rich,
a blazing blur.
Yeah, a blazing blur. Rich, are there, now keep in mind, I said Rock is in this match. I said Miyu Amasaki is in this match. The other 6 are absolute killers. I was seeing this match before it started, and I was like, I don't know what they're going to do with Roaka and with Amasaki. Obviously, Amasaki can move, but obviously she's not nearly experienced as everybody else in the match happened. I was like, oh, never mind. They just going to have a damn 4-way tag high-speed match. Lucha rules, no tags. It was fucking awesome. And I was like, and as I'm watching, I'm just like, bro, there are not 8 American women you can put together to do this match. There's just not. There's not.
Yo, it's just a different caliber. Bro, I watched a pre-show, right? And I was watching Rina and fucking Sayaka Kuwara.
Oh yeah.
Rara, excuse me. I was watching them, and I was just like, this is so much more high level than like the majority of like what's going on TV. So,
I mean, especially in the last few weeks, we keep putting, Georgia on there. Yeah, you got a point. Got a point.
Yeah. So, love this match too. And Macy, she's awesome. Her and Suzu, they fucking rule.
Yes.
Starlight Kid's in there across from Izumi and
Yep, they played into that too as well.
Suzuki and Kaguma. And this was like shut the
like
city
everything.
down.
Everybody had their moments. Everybody had their moments in this match, and then at the end, you have Macy in there with Ruaka, and Ruaka tries to cheat to win, doesn't happen. She ends up getting pinned, and then at the end of it, Ruaka turns on Starlight Kid, and Oedo Tai gang whoops Starlight Kid out of Oedo Tai, and then out comes Tam, and Tam jumps over the top of Starlight Kid's body and absorbs the beating that Starlight Kid was taking.
Tam jumped on her and was trying to protect her like Roddy Piper in WCW from like an NWO beatdown of like Ric Flair or Macho Man or some shit. Like he was going there and cover him up.
You know what I thought you was gonna say? I thought you were gonna say it's gonna be like when Brody took the title off Cody and Brandy brought her ass out.
She did the same thing.
Yeah, except Georgia came out there and put her in the Queen Slayer.
Yeah.
Was that the peak? Was that the peak for Georgia? Was that the peak?
Maybe.
We ever on
yeah.
anything as high?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think she's been decent of late, but
yeah, that hardcore tag match. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. She's always good in those.
Yeah. Tag wrestler. Yeah. Tag wrestler. So
wow. Tam is the Cody Rhodes of Stardom. That's funny.
Let's see. Tam is the Cody Rhodes of Stardom. I don't know how much Stardom you watch. Like, I don't recall Cody cutting, or I don't recall Tam talking about, I don't recall Tam talking about, this is, the integration of Tokyo. But okay, if you say so, man.
What's Tam's hometown?
She's the same place as Okada, Anjo.
Anjo, she's trying to settle the beef between the commoners there.
Oh man, so
Tam not doing it for her daddy. No, okay.
Nah, not a nepo baby. Sorry. So yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, I don't recall Tam winning the red belt and then deciding to, like, for the next 2 weeks she's going to cut promos and nothing else. but yeah, anyway, we can move on. Yeah, so like I'm interested to see where that goes. Like, I think this is a smart move with like Starlight Kid. Like she did her.
They beat her out. Jumped her out.
Yeah, they jumped her out. Like, she's done her time. She's done her time. She did her best to try to carry this shit.
This ragtag group of misfits.
Like, her and Momo tried their best, but they still just they should have. Look, when Kagetsu retired, they should have folded Oedo Tai, but they kept it going. And then Jamie and B left, and then Konami was around, and then it was like, yeah, the leader is still Natsuko, and we're still looking around like, come again. And they've never changed. They still insist on Natsuko being his leadership. And it's like, no one's ever bought it. No one's ever bought it that's watching this, as far as they're watching everything else around the world and being like, yeah, that's a faction leader right there. Like, no one's ever bought it. Their matches have gotten progressively worse.
I'm surprised they ain't turned on that loser Momo too.
I've seen people think that that's kind of on deck too. And look, if they both get out, God bless them. They did as best they could.
Yeah.
They like Wembenyama on the Spurs. It's like we out here with these jackasses and they can't do nothing right. And we out here doing our best.
We'll get to Tekla later.
Yeah.
Dr. Larry.
So
next match.
So actually, before we finish that. So because FWC didn't get pinned, and I think they were the first people to challenge for the belts before it turned to a 4-way, they said, hey, like, we, every Golden Week, last 2 years, we've had a big pay-per-view in Fukuoka on that Friday or Saturday. And same thing this year, third year in a row, we won a title shot. So it's gonna be FWC versus Crazy Star. That match gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that's Friday. That's gonna be fucking. Or no, maybe it's I think it's the 5th. So it might be Sunday. That match gonna be fucking awesome. So I can't wait to see that.
Damn.
So
Keem, Starlight Kid and Kevin Durant of Stardom right now. God damn.
nah, man. Starlight Kid and tear her ACL, man. Anyway, so he say she jumped from team to team. How dare you? That's terrible.
Side to side.
That is terrible. Terrible. Anyway, look, after you go over there and you do your time, you say, hey, look, I'm trying to carry. And she danced. Her and Momo both tried to carry, and they bats gave out like John Henry on the fucking railroad. So look, she's entitled to jump on, to be back on the money team with the rest of the top stars, okay, in this company. So so good for her. She did her best. She tried.
Starlight Kid need to prove it to me. She need to go through hell. This was a deviant for years. Like,
true. You know what I want to see though. You know what I wanted to see, and obviously this rule applies with Stardom, where it's like if someone gets jumped in your faction, and like you were in a main event or some main event situation, you never come out. And I don't think it's an actual rule, but like no one ever comes out to save somebody if they're in the main event. It never happens. Like the closest thing you get is like Prominence at the 2022 anniversary show comes out, and then like Julia comes out before like her match with Mayu. That's the closest thing you ever get. But that wasn't even a title match. So like I think like I want to see like the behind the stage footage where they kayfabe it, where like all of a sudden they like because I expected like Mayu to run out. I was like, Mayu, please run out. Please come out here and get your fucking sister. I want to see them tag back together so bad. So Tam comes up, like, okay, that works. But like I want to see the video backstage where Mayu's backstage in her locker room, and all of a sudden the word comes out that like that she got that kid got jumped, and she goes to run. Is like, no, don't worry about it. Tam got her. And she's like, I couldn't save her.
You think Hazuki is just gonna be fine with her just walking back in, like it's all good?
I think she could, considering Hazuki just quit on it on time for years and it came back out of nowhere and said, I'm just going to start. I'm not going back to them losers. They made Nasco the faction leader. They ruined this thing. I'm not going back there. No, thank you. I will take these good checks, not the bad ones. So anyway, but we'll see. Match before that. High speed 4-way match. Saya Kamatani.
Versus,
is that? Oh, that's right. The tag match. The old school all-star tag match.
The old school, yes.
Yes. The old way.
I'm with the old school.
So, Tam Nakano and Natsupoi Melt here versus Aja Kong and Kaoru Ito.
Historic moment. Aja Kong.
A historic moment. Aja Kong is finally back in the #1 judge promotion in Japan. It's been a long time. Good for her. All it took was a motherfucker she hated to be fired for her to immediately show up.
Yes. Finally steps into the World Wonder Ring. Yes. Aja Kong.
So.
Goddamn right.
Let's address the obvious. Look, man. Aja Kong and Ito are in their 50s, and they have been able to move forward over a decade.
I do not care.
And when they were asked to bump, it looked bad. It looked really bad. Now we have that criticism, and we've acknowledged it. Move that to the side. I love this fucking match.
I do not care. Aja Kong, wrestle as long as you want. I don't care. Keep going. How do we get a belt on her?
The way that Meltzer did this to an extent with Nanai.
They were running around Aja Kong like
2022.
Bro, they were running around Aja Kong like Ric Flair and Lex Luger, but worse.
Yeah. Like, look, man. This was we saw the Sumo Hall show in 2022 with Meltier versus 7-Up, where it's like Nanai cannot move in the way that she could even a couple years ago because of the ankle and foot. And that match included stretch with Tam and Nanai beating the shit out of each other, and then like the closing stretch with Natsupoi in there with you and you hit her with every fucking thing, and that's what just kept kicking out of shit. It was gargantuan, and I was in the building for that, and it was fucking awesome. This match wasn't nearly as good as that, but it was the same kind of premise of like, we are going to get to the closing stretch. we're going to sell on Tam versus another star from the past, and they had their moment. And then like we're gonna have Naspoi come out here and bump around for somebody that's a monster, and it's gonna just be so fucking fun. Like Naspoi is getting fucking destroyed by Ito, and then Aja ain't selling for shit from Tam except for at the very end. Like she's throwing like the leg kicks or whatever else, and Aja ain't even like trying to sell that like it's damage until the very end. But they get to the spot where Ito, I know people have their ups and downs with Ito. Look, I'm not the old school. I didn't watch all of the AJW classics. I only watched bits and pieces. And I got to say, like, one of my favorite Miami Toyota opponents from the 90s is Ito. Because she comes out here, she's big and she's a monster. She does that fucking stomp, and it looks brutal. Once this match was announced, I was like, Naspoi finna catch this fucking double foot stomp from Big Ito. And Ito did it, and it was even nastier than I thought it was going to be. Look. If we had found that Naspoi had to be rushed to the hospital with eternal damage, I would have believed it. That's how brutal this fucking thing was. God, I don't.
All these years, James, I've been waiting for somebody to finish the job on Nasco. I think they did it. On Naspoi, excuse me. I know what you meant, bro. They finished this. They finished her.
Bro.
Justice has been served.
Bro. She got fucking murdered. I love it. This match was so good, man. Like, bro, Melter's such a good tag team. And obviously they were when they were tag team champions, but it's like they only get these couple chances here and there now at this stage. And like you still be like, yeah, bro, that tag title run could have ran a little longer, but they broke it up so they can put the red belt on Tam. I think that tag title reign should have gone longer. But yeah, man, like they're just fucking awesome. Just fucking awesome. And like they made, even though, those two couldn't move, they did so much bumping. It was like, you could forgive it at times. It was a blast. It really was. And yeah, as of course, the old carnies go out on top. They beat two of the breadwinners for this promotion.
The old way.
And they finna go away and never come back.
Jungle Emperor.
Oh, that was fun. That was really fun. So, then let's see. Oh,
Mina.
So then we get to this fucking.
I skipped this altogether,
bro. All right, so special singles match. Mina Shirakawa versus Nasco Tora. So we were just talking about Ito and Aja. And Nasco, she might still be in her. She might be 30 now. She has no excuse to be like only like a decade behind Aja and Ito. There's no excuse.
It says Nasco is 33.
Oh, she's 33. Okay. All right. There you go. She's 33. She's never in the main event level. Obviously, she tore ACL in 2021. But there is no excuse for that. Like, she can't bump, can't move, can't wrestle. Bro, 90 seconds to the match, they already pulled me out the match to start getting heat whooped on in front of the ref, and I was like, what the fuck? And then before they got to the 5-minute mark, they pulled her out the ring and whooped her again in front of the ref, and I was like, what the fuck are we even doing? So Mina gets back in, works on Nasco's leg. Nasco, lazy as ever, doesn't even want to sell it, just laying down on a knee, whatever else. And then they start cheating again. Out comes Tekla, who we haven't seen in a while.
Hey, blonde hair Tekla.
Yeah. Another look for y'all. So, when Tunnel Talk sees Tekla, it's over. It's over. Like they like the Mina and Mariah stuff. If they had saw the Mina and Tekla stuff with that sexual tissue water hating each other and beating the shit out of each other, we need to like send that Swerve Hangman stuff. Wait till they see that 2021.
We need to send them to Tekla and Naspoi fuck you promo. That's what we need to send them.
That's another one that's good. No, do we do? We need to send her. We need to send when how Tekla looked devastated when Natsupoi left, and then show that press conference like she's like, "You broke my heart, you piece of shit. I loved you. And you just stomped. You ripped out my heart and you stomped on it. I fucking hate your guts." All right, so, oh man, so Tekla comes out. Looks like she's going to make the save for Mina, and I'm watching. I'm just like, oh, she's on the Oedo tie. Sure enough, turns around, blasts Mina, and she's now like the top guys in Oedo tie, with the first one we've had in a long time, probably since B.
I'm gonna say, 2019
yeah,
One Nation Radio Stardom Wrestler of the Year. Get it right.
So yeah, like I like the addition back. I like her being placed on Oedo tie. If she's not going to be, obviously, she's not going to be in the XSV or whatever else, and she's not going to be a freelancer or whatever else, bouncing around, floating around, kind of like Crazy Star is. And yeah, put her on Oedo tie. Like, breathe some new life into this. Maybe somebody else can make this thing work, because like, honestly, no one can make it work. But it's like, you got to keep giving people tries and see if they can fix this thing. And the only real answer is someone has to go, but no one want to make the person go. But yeah, so here we are, Tekla, and at least we got a very, very good wrestler in here in Oedo Tai.
Absolutely.
It was real spooky without Starlight Kid there. It really is, when you think about like the kind of the way the roster's been rejiggered. So yeah, like I guess we move on from there. Oh, sorry, Tekla cuts a promo, great promo. She says, "I am not a side character. I'm a main bitch," or something like that, or I'm a main event bitch, something like that, one or two. And she says, like, I am now basically, she basically like saying she's gonna be the idol killer. And then she mentions Mina, she mentions Natsupoi, she mentions Tam, which is like a great starting point for her, because like, hey, I get to be the heel and I get to wrestle top stars. He's like, what do you want? Do you want to join? Do you want to join NXSV and wrestle Oedo Tai? Or do you want to be an Oedo Tai and wrestle the actual top stars promotion? It makes some real fucking money. Right, like is that Vince McMahon Bret Hart list?
Yeah,
this is exactly what that was. So, yeah, happy that she's back. I thought she was gonna show up in Marigold, but she's here, and like it works out, because like obviously she's very talented. I thought that she should have got a stronger push. Then she ended up getting injured in 2021, and that sucked. But yeah, like match I was just for her.
It's time to push a button on her.
Yeah. For those that aren't familiar, like Tunnel Talk, I would suggest you go check out her 2021 SWA title match versus Mayu Iwatani. Check out her 2021 high speed title match versus Azumi, and I think you'll fall in love with her. And she's a great wrestler. She really is. Yeah, just underutilized and like really stuck, in that murderer's role that was 2021 Down El Mondo, where it's Julia, it's Shuri, it's Himeka, it's Maika, it's Natsupoi, it's Mirai.
It was some Team USA Dream Team shit.
Yeah, and I mean the women, the women's side. So yeah, happy for her. So then we move down the card and we get to the high-speed 4-way title match. Saya Kamatani wins the belt from Sai Kashima. Also in the match was Fukigen Death and Saya Ida. Now,
it's a match made for me.
Yes, Rich gets to see Saya Kamatani. He gets to see Fukigen Death, and he likes Ida. But he also, like, I've never seen high speed Ida, so like it was interesting to see how she was going to adapt to this. And I thought like this match basically like, hey, the real match is Ida versus Ida, the team 38-38 from back in the day, wrestle each other,
featuring these other two goofs.
Get these other two, these two goofballs with their shenanigans. Get them out the way. Bell rings. Time for a 4-way, Roman knuckle, or Greco-Roman knuckle lock. Sai Kashima again running from the grind.
Out this bitch.
Runs out the ring. She refuses to get in the booth. Refuses. This is her second title reign. All she's done is run while holding the fucking belt. Never put the belt on her again. I don't care if it's a goofy comedy gimmick belt. I don't care. Every time she's held the belt, it's been some bullshit. Never put the belt on her again. So, match is good when it's Ida and it's Saya, and I want to see their high-speed match eventually. Ultimately, at the end, Kamatani is getting the pin on Death, right?
Yeah.
Gets a pin on Death, and then Saki, she's like, congratulations, let me put the belt on you. Wants to pull the Tam Nakano, puts the belt on the person that she put over, even though she didn't beat the pin.
Yep.
And then as she goes put around her waist, she rolls out the belt rolls out the ring with the belt, trying to run away. Kamatani stops her, and they're playing the tug of war.
Tries to catch her around.
Rope. Yeah, and just totally dishonoring Shuri and all the things Shuri's tried to instill in her over the last year with God's Eye. Still a coward, still not a warrior, still refuses to fight. I would not hate a eventual and a bit of frustration. I would not hate an eventual like God's Eye gang beat down out of the faction. Like you have dishonored Shuri. She has done them but try. Get out of here. Go away. We wash our hands of you. We beat you out of the promotion, out of the faction.
Unreal. I thought this was pretty fun.
It was.
I was very happy to see Sareee Kamatani, as I mentioned earlier, putting a high-speed belt on her. I'm not really thrilled with that because she has to kind of stay away from the real shit for X amount of time. But, Sareee came out here looking like she was wearing Hiromu hand-me-downs and with the new blood belt on, which really set it all off. Def was smoking the pack as normal. And,
yes.
This is a nice little match for me.
Yeah. I want to see the Sareee versus Sareee high speed match. That's what I want to see. So, match for this opener on the main card: God's Eye, Ami Sareee, and Shuri with return of Konami officially back to the full time roster on Stardom, versus the cast or the Nexus VB team. So it's Hanako, it's Waka, and it's Xena. So you see Waka's in there. You already know what's going to happen. It's going to be a Triangle Lancer from Konami. Obviously, that happens. Konami's back and still moves around just as quick as ever. Still great. And I need to see the Shuri and Konami tag title run. Like if you ain't gonna do nothing with Shuri, make her a tag champion.
I saw Shuri walking out for this, and I was just like, I got the same feeling when I used to see like Daniel Bryan walk out at like these big shows, or like Sasha Banks walking out at Evolution. It's like, what are you doing here? Like you should be on at the end of the show.
Right. I'm watching the match. I'm like, I don't know if Shuri even broke a sweat. And I'm like, this is like, I've seen Kamatani in obviously thought that she was going to win the belt, but it's like, all right, she's in this 4-way match and not actually beating somebody to win it, to like stake claim to make it her own. Shuri's in the opener. Obviously, this is about Konami, but it's like, why are we doing this with our top wrestlers? That's kind of what was like the Tam thing. I can excuse is like, oh, she's going out there and she's gonna get beat by Aja Khan. That's fine, whatever. Like Tam would have wanted to do that, right? That's fine. But it's like I just need more from the people that have been pushed as top stars of promotion, unless like you are going to elevate somebody, and like they didn't elevate nobody by doing it this way.
Keem had a comment.
Like if you could put like, hey, you could have did Shuri and Maika and have Maika beat Shuri in the main event. That would have worked.
Keem had a comment. Can we finally admit Ami Sareee does not have it like that?
Oh, I've been saying that since the first year she was in the Grand Prix. I think she's a tag wrestler. That's it. She's a tag wrestler. But like that's another thing I mentioned with this white belt thing. So after Ano won, they've been teasing the Natsupoi match. Natsupoi comes out, and then out comes Ami. Ami wants another white belt shot. I was like, bro, I was in the building during your white belt match. I don't want to see you ever having a white belt match again. Like that was one of those like very beginning of 2022 or sorry, beginning of 2023 Kamatani white belt matches, like before she lost to Mina. Like I haven't seen much improvement since then to be like, yeah, that needs to happen again. Like there's no need. Like I think they're going to do, they're going to have a number one contendership match basically, and like I hope that Natsupoi wins. But I don't want to see Ano versus Ami. I don't.
Well, that was Stardom.